Good evening everyone and welcome to another episode of The Movie Doctor, and obviously this is a very special episode since I'm reviewing Batman v Superman and I cannot wait to fix this movie, so you will be seeing me on screen. Why not wait? Well, because this film saddened me and this film annoyed me as well. Why did it annoy me? Because of the drones of fans defending this movie. Why are you defending this film, which is utter dog shit? We should be boycotting these films and other films just like it. Why? So Hollywood gets a message, so Hollywood actually gets off its ass and makes better films. But anyway, enough of my rant. Let's just talk about what's wrong with this film, and at the end of this video we will try and fix this film. Pick one story to adapt. In the ending of this film, we see Superman sacrifice himself and in turn dying. The creature they were fighting at the end of this film was named Doomsday, the very same creature that absolutely mauled Superman in the very popular storyline, The Death of Superman, in the 90s. To me, that comic is when Superman stopped being Superman and became more of a symbol. So that would be the same reason the Warner Brothers would adapt this into a movie, right? The other storyline they adapt and acknowledged as an inspiration to this film is The Dark Knight Returns, Frank Miller's masterwork on the Batman character. One of the best shots in the film is actually out of The Dark Knight Returns. Now, the problem. Those are both very huge comic books with very huge themes that don't mix well at all. How is this a problem for the film? Well, if this is a sequel to Man of Steel, technically that makes Superman the main character of this film, right? But then we find out that he's going to be fighting Batman in this film, which technically makes him a villain, right? But hold on a minute there, Batman's being billed first. It's called Batman v Superman, not Superman v Batman, so that technically makes Batman the main character, right? But then they also added Lex Luthor and Doomsday, which overloaded the script. This film should have been nothing but Batman v Superman. No other characters, just make it a simple straight up Batman v Superman film. Also, just because you adapt two of the biggest storylines in the Batman and Superman lore doesn't mean you will have a good mixing of them in a movie. Stop chasing Marvel. Do I need to stress this? Does anyone smell desperation in Batman v Superman? Like Warner Brothers wants to be Marvel Studios already, completely forgetting that all the hard work that has been put in to make them such a big studio. The first Avengers movie, released in 2012, came after 5 solo films. And now supposedly we're going to be getting a Justice League movie with just 3 films. And mind you, those 3 films have been about the 2 most popular superhero characters in the world. This is why the ending of this film fails so hard. Superman dies, dude. This should be a powerful scene and moment, but it's not. It might be for the citizens of Metropolis, but not for us, the audience watching this film. You know why that is? Because we haven't seen Superman for a long running time in front of us. We've only seen Superman for a full runtime of less than 5 hours. Even less if you only count his scenes in the movie. Now take the character of Captain America. I am 99.9% sure that he is going to get the axe in either Infinity War Part 1 or 2, or hell, maybe if they're crazy they'll do it in Civil War. And you know what? I'm gonna feel it. You know why I'm gonna feel it? Because I've had time to grow and watch this character on screen before he gets the axe. I have not been given enough time to care for Superman even when he's dead. Superman's death is not felt on an emotional level like at all because they're speeding through so many things. Copy what Marvel is doing behind the scenes. Marvel's doing things the right way. They're introducing these really unknown characters such as Iron Man who have become known right now, which lead up and build up to the Avengers. It feels organic and the right way to do it, honestly. But why is Marvel doing things this way, you might be asking? Well, the answer is because Kevin Feige. He's the godfather of that franchise and he strictly stays behind the scenes as producer. A common complaint about the Marvel films is that they feel like the directors are rent-a-directors, that they just came in and shot the film for someone else. But you cannot argue the fact that they feel like all the films belong in the same franchise. And because of all the different directors coming in to direct these films, they're different enough from the previous films. They stand out from each other. DC Comics desperately needs an overlord like Kevin Feige. Technically, it's Zack Snyder, but don't you guys think he has enough to worry about with directing not 1 but but 2 Justice League movies. Now he has to worry about all this other shit too, explaining Aquaman, which is possibly the hardest job in the world. David Goyer and the dialogue. Warner Brothers, you gotta get rid of this man. Zack Snyder is a problem, but he is not the main problem. David Goyer's lines in this film are absolutely cringeworthy, and they feel like the sole purpose of those lines is to be in the trailer. Remember that very first trailer when Batman said, "Do you bleed? You will." Well, that sounded awesome in the trailer, but in the film itself, it sounds super lame and it's ultra awkward. You know why? Well, because first of all, Batman seemingly says that dialogue out of nowhere, and the second portion of that line is delivered when Superman flies away. Now, don't give me the BS that Superman's super hearing could hear it. That is true, but it also made Batman look like an absolute idiot talking to himself. You will. I understand it's comic booky dialogue, but that was not the right place to use it as well. Another type of dialogue David Goyer loves is the prophetic and lofty dialogue, which is also rather annoying here, especially when Lex Luthor speaks. If man won't kill God, the devil will do it? What does this mean? Who's the devil in this scenario? Is Doomsday the devil? No, his name is Doomsday. The whole script is muddled and a mess. Last time I checked, the Flash didn't have the power to enter dreams. Who is he? Flashy Krueger? I'm so sorry for that joke. No main character. Who is the main character of this film? This film is titled Batman v Superman, but those aren't the main characters of this film, as they're not moving the plot forward. Who moves the plot forward in this film? Lex Luthor. We can't relate to Batman or Superman. We sort of relate to Clark, but we rarely spend time with the struggle as a human, unlike in Man of Steel. Fucking Man of Steel looks like a masterpiece compared to Batman v Superman. And now let me preface this by saying I did not like Jesse Eisenberg's performance in the film, but his character is the main character because he is the only one actively working to pursue his goal. What's Superman's goal in this film? Hell, what's Batman's goal in this film? It's to fight Superman, right? And if he does want to fight Superman and stop Superman, why is he doing all this irrelevant shit by looking for all these terrorists and stuff? He is not the main character either. Lex Luthor is the main character, and how can you not side with this guy? He's the only human smart enough in this film who's working on a deterrent for this mega-powered alien. Right scenes, not ideas. This whole film was pushing that theme of Superman being a symbol. We're given shots in a montage of Superman saving people. The scene in Mexico, the NASA thing, and the rooftop saving thing. These are ideas, they're not scenes. And just the fact that they've done this in a montage proves that they're not doing this for the effect of the idea. They're doing this to kill time and get on to when people start fighting. And obviously, quickly and cheaply get an idea across to the public. Like in the Spider-Man movies, we see Spider-Man save people, even on his way to his goals. I agree that tonally, something like that wouldn't fit in Batman v Superman, but it needed scenes like those. Superman saving people no matter what. Stop setting up the Justice League. By the way, how pathetic was it to see the Justice League? Did you see how they were set up? In an email.
You've got mail.
I didn't know you can attach HD quality video in an email. This is the same problem I sort of had with Avengers Age of Ultron. It felt like a piece of an unfinished puzzle, and it shouldn't. Do you know why? Because the Avengers movies are conclusions to all the solo stories. They all build up to the Avengers. The Avengers films are more like event films instead of character stories. Batman v Superman is also an event film. Solo films should have led up to this film. Batman v Superman, the crux of this film's promotion. The 3 words everyone was sold by. The fight scene, which all of us were wanting to see. And how awesome is the fight scene? Not awesome at all, if you ask me. It's a poorly shot and poorly lit fight scene which suffers from the Pacific Rim syndrome. What is the Pacific Rim syndrome, you might be asking? It is when an overlay of rain is in the foreground of the image and all the action is happening behind that image. And it is absolutely annoying as all it does is blur all the cool shit happening. To make that even worse, the second portion of that fight scene takes place in an unpopulated building, of course, which has no light sources in it as well. What I mean by that is that the fight scene takes place in the dark. Now, if you watched my review, you might have heard me saying that it was really hard for me to see stuff, especially in the Batmobile chase. It's the same thing in that fight scene as well. You know why? Because everything's black. Batman's wearing a black suit. Superman's suit is not blue, it's a darker shade of blue. And the lighting is very dim. The whole scene's a mess. Besides that, however, how friggin' easy is it to stop Batman from whooping your ass? Just say the name Martha? Also, who calls their mother by their first name and not mom or mommy or mother? Superman's a really rude boy if you ask me. In that one scene, they took a badass Batman because Ben Affleck was legitimately doing a good job as that character, and they turned him into the Amazing Spider-Man. Why does it matter that both of your mom's names are the same? It's completely irrelevant. Fucking stab Superman already. But they go even further into making Batman an absolute tool in the film. In the final fight against Doomsday, what is Batman doing? Oh, you don't remember? Well, I have actual video of what Batman was doing in that final fight. But here's the good news, guys. It's not too late though. Warner Brothers has yet to sanction the Justice League shoot. There's no reason for Zack Snyder to be directing 2 Justice League films. Now, I'm not a critic, but it is one of my goals to become a certified film critic. And for all the fans saying critics don't know what they're talking about, and even the filmmakers saying that, you know what, we didn't make this film for the critics, we made it for the fans.
I made the movie I'm a comic book guy, and I made the movie based as much as I could on that aesthetic. And so I don't know how else to do it 100%, so it is what it is, you know.
You know, I know that Zach doesn't make the movies, and none of us are making the movies for the critics, so to speak. You can't kind of go into that with that perspective. So I know we really hope the fans like it, and so far the reaction's been really positive on that front. So so we just hope that continues, and that, you know, they feel that we're making the films for them.
And what is the subtext behind that line that Amy Adams said and what Zack Snyder defended? What does that exactly mean? Well, it basically means that the fans like soulless products with incoherent screenwriting and seizure-inducing film editing. I know I'm putting words into their mouth, but that's the gist of it. I'm a fan of both Batman and Superman, and I can tell you, this is not a good Batman v Superman film. This is not a film made for the fans, this is a film made for prepubescent teens. I'm sorry, I got a bit overworked there, but let's get to the finale of this movie, Doctor. As you know, I am the movie doctor, and I am supposed to give you a prescription. Warner Brothers, this is your free prescription. This is what you have to do to fix the Batman franchise and the DC universe. Number 1, cancel that Wonder Woman film. No one wants to see that. Gal Gadot is an absolutely terrible actress, and she's not understandable when she's speaking. A lot of critics and a lot of people are saying, oh, she's the best part of the film. I have no idea what hole they're talking out of, but it's certainly not their mouth. Give us more Ben Affleck Batman films. You can't help but feel bad for him and Henry Cavill, man. But yes, give us more Batman solo films, and for fuck's sake, adapt a story we haven't heard of. Rumors are swirling that they're doing Under the Red Hood. We've seen that in a brilliant animated film. How about doing brilliant but relatively unknown stories in Hush, Batman Venom, The Man Who Laughs, A Serious House on Earth, or how about something recent? Have you idiots and Warner Brothers seen the work Scott Snyder has doing recently with Batman the Court of Owls and Batman Endgame? Do one of those stories. Number 3. Do not let Zack Snyder direct both Justice League films. We've seen what Zack Snyder can do with comic book films now 4 times. And to be the bearer of even more bad news, guess what storyline they're looking to adapt for the Justice League film? Injustice, Gods Among Us, the video game. Yes, a fucking video game. Does it sound like they're being overly creative or working hard at all at Warner Brothers? And finally, it's simple. Don't go and see these films. Guys, trust the tomato meter. Critics aren't idiots. They watch more movies in a year than most people watch in multiple years. Why am I urging you to not see these films? Well, because if you keep on seeing them, you are sending Hollywood the message that, you know what you're doing right now is all right, when it's not. It's not telling Hollywood anything, and they're gonna keep on making this dog shit. Unless the tomato meter on the Justice League movie shows me a rating of above 70 or 80, I am most likely going to avoid the Justice League film. Just like I'm avoiding the new Transformers film. Please, take a stand against this crap. These are your movies. These are movies being made for you people to watch and enjoy. Take a stand against this, and for all the fanboys defending this film just out of fanboyism, don't you understand that you are dooming yourself to quality of films like this for the future? And it's fine to like a bad film, but admit that it's a bad film. I like Under Siege too. It's totally fine to like a bad film. And I have this one thing to tell you. If you think Batman v Superman is good, and it's not a good movie, I'm here to tell you that, imagine what Warner Brothers can do if they actually make a good Batman v Superman film. Just imagine that. And for the people who agree with me, and for the people who want to see better movies, better superhero movies from DC in the future, what can you do? Well, let's just see. Ben Affleck's on Twitter. Henry Cavill, I believe, is on Twitter. Zack Snyder's on Twitter. Gal Gadot, I believe, is on Instagram. And the friggin' Warner Brothers are on Twitter as well. I thought those guys were dead. What can you do? Tweet this video to them. Show them that these are the problems with your movies and tweet them more problems you might have. Make a video, tweet it to them, and tell them we want to see better films because I want to see a better Batman v Superman film. And I'm pretty sure you guys want to as well. How many people were depressed when they saw the tomato meter score of Batman v Superman? I know I was. I wanted to love this film. No critic, no person on this planet goes into a movie theater thinking he's gonna hate a film. We all have a voice. We need to find a way to let these studios know that we don't like products. We want our superheroes to have depth. We want to see good stories. So tweet this video out to them. The next movie doctor will be about a movie named Black Hat. I'm pretty sure all of you saw that, right? Everyone saw that movie, right? Can I get a picture of how packed the theater was when people saw Black Hat? Oh. Nevertheless, people, I will be talking about Black Cat next, as I believe that film was rather interesting. But start a conversation down below. Let me know what you think about Batman v Superman. Tell me what points I was wrong about. Tell me what points I was right about. But most important of all, share this video. I'm pretty sure if Zack Snyder or Ben Affleck sees this one link flooded on their Twitter about 100 times, they will click. The cheapest form of entertainment to date, going to the movies, $11. Nothing costs less than going to the movies. But we do not want to see crap in our movies. Let them know that. Thank you so much for watching, people, once again. My name is Rameez Khan, and I am the Movie Doctor.